This is an output transmission on a Suzuki 1300 Hayabusa. These are called dogs, and these are called slots. You can see where the dogs engage the slots. So when you miss shift, you don't get a gear all the way. You see how that rounded edge is there? We start rounding those off and chipping. You can see we've got some chippage going on here on this guy. You see the edge is nice and round. That's not good. You see some of the dogs have seen better days. Here's a slot that's hurt. So we disassemble. We start at the end and we inspect every component. Well, I do. I don't know why I say we. But these are roller bearings, needle bearings. We replace these, and depending on the wear, and plain bearing. This is why you want good oil in your engine when you shift. And there's some more dogs. This one's got some damage to it. When you hear the term undercutting, you see how these have an angle cut to them. Some don't. See that one versus this one? This has an angle into it. See the angle? Those are called undercut. They undercut the edges so that they slide right in. You can see the meshing of the two gears really well here. You see, this is a dog engagement. You can see those are undercut, so they meet each other and they fit really well. You can see there's some damage. You can see the bits of metal there and the rough. This one's actually chipped. Second and sixth, third and fourth. The second and sixth gears on the Hayabusas get it pretty good in the first gen. So we're going to get these undercut. We're going to replace some of these. You can see these dogs are really, slots are really worn. Look at this one's got a chip. It's missing some. They're not too bad. I've seen a lot worse, but we're going to address this. I'm going to fix them. Okay, and this is called the disassembly. This is the countershaft bearing, main countershaft bearing. We're going to replace these. It's a Koyo. We're going to put ceramics in here. Here's the part number for that bearing right here. We're going to replace it with a hybrid ceramic transmission bearing. That's what I've done to Katrina. We're going to press this bearing off so we can disassemble this and inspect this shaft here. And this is the main and counter shaft. Main shaft, input shaft, output shaft. This is the one that has the undercutting on it. You can see the dogs. They just spin on a plain bearing. So that's why we want really good oil. That's why you can tell the difference when you put good oil in your bike and how it shifts, because the oil rides inside of everything. It's relying on that oil as a cushion, and all kind of things are happening. But you can see the dogs here. These are actually decent. Nothing's wrong with them. The undercutting is what really helps the gear shift to happen and just happens positive, you know. It's a positive gear shift, and it's gonna happen no matter what with the undercutting going on. But you can see when you don't have undercutting how this all works together. And you can see the dogs and slots engage themselves and cause massive amounts of wear. We also have the shift forks. So we also replace these right here, which is the shift shafts, the forks. right on these. We're going to put forged ones in here. We have quite a bit of wear on this shift fork. Not too bad, but you see this portion right here, it rides, wears out. We've got some burring going on right here. This thing's pretty much done. We need to have these a certain size, and they can't be bent. So very important. So we're going to replace the shift forks, the shift shafts. Motor looks good. This bike has 40,000 miles on it. Look at the bearings, how great they look. This bike has had Mobil 1 oil, synthetic, all of its life. And you see how clean the main bearings are. Very clean. Still have material on them, not worn through. So this is, if you take care of your motorcycle, this is what happens. It's taken care of. The bearings don't wear out. There are some wear, but it's nothing. This bike can go quite a bit more. It's looking good, still looking good. We are going to replace the oil pump too. While we're in here, we're just going to go ahead and replace that tricoidal oil pump. The basket looks good. I rebuilt the clutch not too long ago on this. We had some. I will replace those guys. They had backed out. One or two of them was backing out. We caught it in time. But I am going to replace all of those pressure plate bolts, the springs. We're going to put a clutch kit in it while we have it on. 40,000 miles on those plates. They're looking tired, the color of them. We're going to measure them. I'm pretty sure we're going to be close to the minimum. But all right, guys, that's it in a nutshell. Oh, I wanted to show you this too, and this is what we use to diagnose transmissions and stuff. Get this thing to come on. Right. So a lot of times we refer to the service manual, and this will actually tell you diagnostics wise when you have transmission trouble. Engine is noisy, comes from the transmission. Transmission will not shift. Transmission will not shift back. Transmission jumps out of gear. And these are the associated parts and what they recommend to replace. This is directly from Suzuki's service repair manual. So as a technician, we want to get all the damage out of the transmission so it will shift right, because you only have one chance. If you don't get all the damage out and you don't get the components that were the cause for the problem initially, then you might have to go back in there and break that motor back apart, and you're going to have to eat it. You're going to have to eat the job. So this is why you want to go to someone that is trained and is professionally trained and has experience with doing this in such a way that we get all the damage, and we also know how to assess all the damage and know what components where and what Suzuki wants you to trade out, or what Suzuki wants you to go ahead and replace. But that's it in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.